Hey bestie, so let's just hop straight into it. Right now, I'm about to start putting foundation on my wig cap. I no longer do the bald cap method. I just feel like it was an extra step and I changed my hair too much to be doing all of that. So now I just throw the wig cap on and put my makeup on top. But if you want, you can definitely do the bald cap method. This is the hair we will be working with. It is from Kbeth hair. It is a 13x6 lace front, I believe, and right now I'm just putting it on and sizing it to my head, seeing where I want it to lay before I do the full install. Oh, and I also did put makeup on the lace, so don't forget that step. And now I'm applying the glue around my hairline, being very careful not to get glue on my edges. And I just apply it in little dots and spread it across my hairline. I use the end of a fork. You can use whatever you want. It really doesn't matter. Just use anything to spread it out. Then I go in with my blow dryer on medium heat and on like high air pressure, just so it's not too hot for me, and I keep blow drying until it is clear, and then I go in with my second layer of glue, pretty much just repeating the same process, putting little dots all over my hairline, spreading it out evenly with the fork. You want to make sure your glue isn't too thick because then it won't dry clear, or it will just take a long time to dry clear. And then going back over it with my blow dryer. And I do this 3 times. I go on with 3 layers. I just feel like this makes your wig last the longest. 3 is like a magic number for me. I like to do 3 layers. I can't really explain the reason why. I just like to do 3 and spread it out. Now, then I'm placing the wig right on top of the glue, and you want to make sure that you're just pulling it all the way down and then using your fingers to press it in there, and then taking a comb and using the comb to just further press the lace into the glue while making sure that you're not pressing the hair in. And then I go on with my elastic band and leave that on for about 20 minutes. Now I'm taking it off and I'm using my lace melting spray and putting that around the perimeter, just because this wig was a little small and I was experiencing some lifting. So that's why I went in with my lace melting spray on top and then used a blow dryer. And I also cut a little bit of the lace off just so that it wasn't all in my face. But as you can see, I didn't cut all the lace off. And now I'm going back in with my elastic band. Whenever you use melting spray, you always want to go back in with your elastic band. And now I'm just cutting off the excess lace, and I'm going in a zigzag motion, trying to get as close to the hairline as possible, but with still leaving like a little bit of lace there. You don't want to cut right on the hairline. You kind of want there to be a little bit of lace in front of it so that you have something to melt. I know it looks a little crazy right now, but just trust the process. So I sprayed some of that melting spray on the edge of my comb and also on my finger. You could do either one, your comb or your finger. And now I'm just pressing it into my lace, making sure to get rid of like that little crusty part of the lace that's like kind of lifting up and not really melted. This is how you really melt your lace, y'all. This Ebin melting spray works wonders. I'm sure you guys have seen it all over the internet. I stand by it and I will forever use it. And then now I'm going back in with my elastic band. And now it's time for my favorite part, the styling. So to do the half up, half down style, you want to do 2 kind of like curved parts. Because this is a lace front and not a frontal, I didn't go straight back. And also I feel like doing the curved parts, it just kind of looks better. And it helps you get more hair out, but also still have a pretty thick and full ponytail. And I don't know, I just like the look of it much better. So try your best to make sure that you get it even on both sides. It's really hard for me to do my parts even, so I did the best that I could. And now I'm just clipping that up so that I could keep it out of the way. So by the time it takes to do that, your lace should be melted. So I took the elastic band off and now I'm just parting out my edges. When I part out my edges for the half up, half down, I like to give it kind of like that kind of curved effect. So I do take hair out from the ponytail just to, I can't really describe it, but it does give it a different type of look than if I were just to take hair from the sides that were already pulled out. And then I make kind of like a long triangle Oh, and don't forget to put makeup on your lace. I forgot and I almost did my edges without doing that step. So make sure that after your lace is melted, before you lay your edges down, you put some makeup over your lace. Now it's time to do the edges after I've finished adding my makeup. So what I like to do is clip all the extra hair back just so it doesn't get on my way, and I can only work with the hair that I'm using to do my edges. Try your best to make sure that you part out both sides evenly. You don't want edges to be really thick on one side and then thinner on the other. You want them to be twins, okay? Not cousins, not sisters, not fraternal twins. You want your edges to be as close to identical twins as possible. So just try your best to make sure that you're parting out the same amount of hair on one side as you're doing on the other. And like I said, we're going for like that long triangle shape. So towards the end of the edges, you want it to be a little bit more hair than the front, if that makes sense. So just play around with it, add more hair, take out more hair. It's really a preference thing. Just keep parting until you get it to look the way you want. Then I'm going in with my hot comb on 400 something degrees. I don't really check the degrees that much. I just make sure it's in the 400, and I'm hot combing the hair forward. Be very careful because I have burnt myself doing this before. So just make sure that you're not rushing because you are using heat. And then I'm cutting the edges, and I always cut longer than what I want them to be because remember, you can always cut off more hair, but once the hair is cut, you can't add no more. So see, be careful because I burnt myself with the curling iron. Don't be like me. I was scared to even touch it with my hand after that. But you want to go in with a mini curling iron and curl your edges. And this just helps you get that light, fluffy look. It's really hard to lay down straight edges. Curling it just makes it easier to shape them. It just makes it better. So I use mousse to do my edges. Some people like got to be. It's really a preference thing. I've heard people say that mousse lifts your lace. Me personally, I've never experienced the mousse lifting my lace, but to each his own. They both work the same in my opinion. I realized my edges were a little bit too long, like I said. So once I got the shape I wanted, I cut it a little shorter, curled it again, and now it was much easier to go in and shape it the way I want. So what I like to do is I like to bring my edges down and use my finger and the comb to help get like that swooped shape, like, you know, that real cute effortless swoop baby hair shape. And because I cut one side, I cut the other side. Like I said, we want twins and not sisters, not cousins. We want the edges to be twins. So I'm going in with my mousse on this side, and I'm pretty much doing the same thing. Of course, personally, I always have one side that I end up liking better than the other. So this side was a little bit harder for me to do. It just wasn't really giving me the shape that I wanted. But just take your time, be patient, and go in that swoop motion. You want to swoop with the comb and use your fingers. So like swoop, finger, and just keep working at it. It always takes me a long time to do my edges. That's probably the part of the process that takes the most time for me, but in the end, it is definitely worth it. I feel like your baby hair either make or break your whole wig install. It adds so much style and flavor. I ended up needing to add more hair. So like I said, it really is all your preference. Doing your baby hairs is all about looking at it and seeing what works. If you need to add hair, if you need to take away hair, if you need to swoop one piece a certain way, you really just gotta learn how to work with it. It comes with practice. I'm even still learning how to get mine like perfect. So at first I wasn't going to do sideburns with this look, but after looking at it, I just felt incomplete without the sideburns, so I went in and added some. I also plucked it a little bit thinner because if you're pulling out hair and you're noticing that it's a little bit too thick, that might mean you need to do some more plucking. So just go in with your tweezers and pluck more hair out. The sideburns is pretty much the same process. I curl the hair upwards. Some people curl it downwards. Me personally, I don't like to curl my sideburns downwards just because I'm scared of burning myself. Curling it upwards, I just feel like I have more control of the flat iron. But it's the same process. Just use your finger and use the comb on your edges, and swoop. Now it's time to do the ponytail. I'm starting by brushing it out to make sure it's detangled, looking at it for one final time and making sure I'm okay with the part. Then I go in with my She Is Bomb wax stick. Y'all, I swear by this wax stick. This is the best wax stick I've used so far. It's available at any beauty supply store. I love it. And then I go in with my hot comb just to make sure that it's sleek and shiny and molded into the way that I want the ponytail to look. And smoothing it out with my hands, making sure that I got it nice and tight. This is also why your lace needs to be melted if you're doing an updo style, because you don't want to be pulling on your ponytail and lift your lace. Then I go in with my Got To Be just to add a little bit of extra hold. Make sure that there's no flyaways, because flyaways, y'all, I feel like can ruin your whole style. And then I go in with the blow dryer to set it in place. I don't like to use too much Got To Be because that can make it crunchy, and I want it to be more so smooth and not really hard. And then I use 2 rubber bands, not 1 but 2. I just feel like 2 gives you that extra secure hold, and I go in and tie it around. Now you can go in and wrap hair around the rubber band to cover it up. Me personally, I did not do that for this style, but it's up to you. I just chose not to do it because I wanted the more natural look, kind of. So I decided to go in and add some loose body wave curls with my curling wand. Sometimes I like to use my curling wand over my curling iron, just because the curling wand, it gives you more of like a wavy type curl rather than the curl that you get with a curling iron. And honestly, I just didn't feel like pulling on my curling iron. The curling wand is much easier for me to use. So I'm just going section by section, curling my hair, and we're going to keep going until I get around my whole head, so you guys can just watch me through the curling process.
So I'm not with nobody, cause I don't wanna hurt nobody. Did it over, tasted and call me. Still got love for your mommy. I know you wanna be somebody, even if you gotta leave somebody. Yes, I'm hurt, yes, I'm jaded. Most of the things I don't wanna say. I won't be around while you chase. You know what I'm saying. You'll try to come back when you faint. I always want the truth, but it's dangerous. You got something real, not bad. You wanna get with me, stop. Yes, I'm hurting, yes, I'm jaded. Most of these things I don't wanna say. I won't be around while you chase. You wanna hit me up when you make. You'll try and come back when you're famous. I always want the truth, but it's dangerous. You got something real, not base. You wanna get with me, stop. Y'all on this side, y'all go on this side. Hey, told me about all your insecurities for what? Dragged me like 2 hours to your family's house for what? Said you need some time, but I should stick around for what? Always felt like sticking around.
So now that I'm done curling, I'm just taking a little bit of my concealer and I'm using it to define my part. I like to use liquid concealer for this part, but powder can work good as well. Once again, it's a personal preference. I just prefer to use liquid concealer. And now I'm going in with my wax stick once again, just to lay down the parts of my hair that were left out of the ponytail, just to give it like that real sleek and freshly done look. And then once again, I'm going over my hot comb to make sure that it's nice and flat. You don't want any lumps and bumps up in your lace. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is how the final look came out. I was very pleased with it and pleased with this hair, and I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Goodbye.